Certainly, Hardblue is one of those players who's so well loved and well known, you know, for a reason. It's great to be able to perform, you know, create a team around him. This time, though, Chicken Contendies will have Salty on the Zarya role, and Jai for his inaugural performance with the Chicken Contendies on the Sombra. So this is actually really interesting. Before, Buck, who we have, you know, pointed out in the past, he was the one playing the Sombra, but this time around we will have both the Sombra and the Brigitte on field along with Suppose's Ana.
Taylor already taken down, so Buck already changing things up. Usually he's on the other side of that, but Buck gonna get first blood here, but Snilla on that Tracer. Looking at Fusion University's team comp right now. There's some DPS that you don't normally see, and Beast Pillow gonna get res. That was actually a pretty defensible position to defend that body for Chicken Contendies, but they must have forgotten about it. The cooldown was not quite gone for the body to disappear, and Beast Pillow's gonna be right back, but still gonna get killed once again. Buck does go down, so it's actually been a pretty close fight. You really want to win this first point, as it's pretty hard to take it after the opposing team does.
It's very difficult. There's just so much area for all of these squirrely heroes to hide out in, but Beast Halo hiding no longer, gets hacked and taken down. So now Fusion University, they're banking up some more of these ultimates, but they gotta make sure that the positioning keeps everybody safe.
Ooh, Bernard is into the back line. Bernard on Pharah, we actually haven't talked about that just yet. He's going to be off of that D.Va, off of that Sombra. Alarm going to take Suppose off of this field, but it's still going to be a 5v5 as Bernard is going to be taken down from Chicken Contendies, who still own this point.
And now with Karkar out of it, no more resurrections. Beast Halo, that was your second and last life here on the point, gets hacked and taken down once again. Wow, Jai putting in some great work.
Yeah.
Not only got a really fast first EMP, but has been hacking some key targets from Fusion University to help Chicken Contendies maintain this point presence.
Well, Jai, for his first game, I don't see any nerfs so far. Got that quick EMP, got a couple first bloods, and now we're seeing Chicken Contendies up 50% right now. And now that Fusion University have an EMP of their own, this is going to be their best opportunity for a while to try to attack this point.
EMP is a great opener either for the Barrage or the Pulse Bomb. Bernard floating on high, looking at Suppose right now.
Oh, doesn't get much, just Salty Suppose, but getting the Zarya is totally worth it. They're going to get Buck and a bunch of other people as well. Chicken Contendies are going to be losing out at this point, but hey, it's good to stall, try to get as much time out of it as possible, but eventually Fusion University do flip it.
72% is very impressive first hold. And remember, for Chicken Contendies, who have definitely been, you know, on the bottom of the leaderboard for most of this season so far, holding their own against Fusion University, at least in this early round. Nice here, full invisibility, gets the hack onto Zola, gonna slow things down, but Chicken Contendies, with Salty's grab nearly online, they got the opener they need.
Snillow's got that pulse bomb, but is hacked, and Tracer's a sitting duck when they are hacked, as you see as Snillow almost gets taken down. But he still has that pulse bomb. Now he's going to get that kill. Chicken Contendies down a member, but they've actually evened it back up. University somehow finding themselves on top of this fight at an ultimate disadvantage, and they're going to stay at an ultimate disadvantage until Chicken Contendies comes right back.
Snillow just, you know, hanging, chilling. Now that there is no Sombra on the field, you don't have to worry too much. That was a really good opening made by Jai, taking Snillow out of the fight, but unfortunately Tendies weren't able to capitalize off of that man advantage quickly enough. So now, this is 50% for Fusion University. If you're gonna make your move sometime, Chicken Tendies, you gotta start looking now, because we have seen the swaps onto the Winston and D.Va. This is a time for you to bank up some more ultimate.
This EMP needs to be big if Chicken Contendies wants to retake this point. Bernard does have that Rocket Barrage though.
Yeah, Bernard with the Rocket Barrage, and nice. Oh man, I was about to say close to the EMP. He has it, drops it right away.
EMP's going both sides. Let's see who's going to find more value. Looks like Fusion University are not. It's Suppose going to get the kill onto Nice. The Ana popping up on that leaderboard. Chicken Contendies now have a 6v5 on this point as Fusion University are approaching that one fight territory of 80%, but they have traded kills back. There was no kind of everyone go after this and close this out as the sleep goes on to Bernard, and Bernard's going to go away because of Suppose single-handedly pretty much. Fusion University, the point has been flipped, but the fight is still going on.
Oh, and Buck staying alive by the skin of his teeth. Suppose, though, does go down to the hands of Alarm, so incredibly back and forth, but Tendies own this point. Alarm has the Transcendence, but it might be a from-behind kind of trance, and we see it come through.
They're investing the Transcendence to make sure that Fusion University take this back, because Chicken Contendies have found themselves at 99%. The Rocket Barrage is there, but what will they have for this next fight? Looking on the other side of things, Chicken Contendies don't have much of Fusion University. feeling really good with their Primal Rage.
Especially not much in terms of times, just 10 or so seconds left, but there's an EMP online for Jai. This is your moment to shine, dude. We have a Buck in with the Rally Bomb, Primal Rage, Contendies, they have the tools.
What's gonna be your theme song? Right, Jai, you have an opportunity to make sure that your entrance in this will be huge, and it's gonna get Car, who is gonna be saved by the armor pack from Bernard. Really good stuff there. They're deciding to not run a D.Va. Bernard is on that break, which is pretty interesting. Because University has run in the past. He's still gonna get his counterpart Gig, and he's gonna continue the domination of Contendies in this specific side. University looks to clean it up and take the round. The Buck getting a kill onto Bernard has made things interesting. The EMP coming in from Nice will make things very difficult for Contendies to come back.
Oh, Beast Halo down at the hands of Jai, who's now swapped onto the Tracer. It's not going to be enough. Ooh, man alive though. Tendies bringing it to 99-100.
So, okay, I do want to be careful. This is the first round, yes. And like it's kind of like,
and it's control.
Well, and it's like we don't want to enter like everyone gets an award, right? You got to 99%, right? That's awesome and something that they should feel really good about. But for now, they still lost that round. So they're still down 1-0.
Yes, but I think they've, kind of hit upon something that's pretty magical, Jai, with that Sombra.
Yeah.
Who was expecting this? I certainly wasn't. Tendies' previous Sombra looks have not been their strongest, to say the least. So this is really good that now they can kind of, swap things up. At least they have option, B.
Yeah, and Jai's fitting right in, so Contendies, I said, let's not give them too much credit, but it was close on that last round. Are they going to keep it close, or are they going to finally find themselves on top? Fiji University are known to play the level of their opponent, which is why they find themselves in Game 5 so frequently, at least in the last 2 seasons. Hardcar going to get taken low, so it is Nice with the fight still going on. Gig at the same time, so Bernard is going to get the kill onto Salty as a ton of damage is going to rip through Contendies to make this very hard for them to keep, and now the rest will fall. Fiji University are going to unlock this point first.
Oh man, you saw Gig right there getting toyed with essentially by the tanks of Fusion University. Suppose eats a boop from Bernard as well.
Who has a self-destruct.
Yeah, that just goes to show how much he's been contributing to this team so far. We know him for some of those Bernard bombs, but all around really well played. Nice. D.Va finds Jai too. Oh man, that's that's the spy checking I can't get in my ranked games.
Is that 5 kills for him in that fight? I think it might have been.
We'll give him the credit.
6 is Bernard gonna get slept, unable to defense matrix that one, but it is gonna be available when he does come back up. Particle barrier is gonna help him out, and Bernard is gonna get behind the wall just in time, right before getting hacked and rejoin the team. But he has a self-destruct, and Nice isn't very, close to his graviton surge, so we might see just a regular old clean Bernard bomb in this fight, unless Nice is able to get that percentage up really quickly. And Contendies does have an Earth Shatter and a Nano. Here is that Bernard bomb. Is it going to get anyone? It will not, but it's going to buy them some time. On the point his alarm is hacked, but will have Transcendence available. But Salty could have a Graviton Surge. But now let's see how good the supports are at tracking those ultimates. As supposing Gig are both going to be using their ultimates. Primal Rage is going to be out for Beast Halo as well. And Fusion University have owned this fight ever since Bernard started popping off at the beginning of this round.
So hard for Contendies to come back here. Gig, he had the Earth Shatter to open up that fight. It's essentially a free one since Fusion University are running the Winston, but even though he found 3 members of Fusion University, nobody was really in position to capitalize off the back of it. That's kind of what you have with one of those Sombras. If she's not in the fight, if she just got a hack and translocated out, you're going to be missing quite a bit of that damage or that damage mitigation you'd otherwise have with a D.Va. So, Contendies, this is going to be their last best engage.
Well, that's what you give up when you have a Sombra in there, right? There are going to be times where your team has to use 65. The EMP is going to get thrown out, throwing in that translocator. 5-man EMP. That's a pretty good ultimate, if I say so myself. Contendies find themselves on top. And University are in the 90s. They only have to win one more fight to take the map and go up 1-0. Can Contendies hold it?
That's going to be the question. They only used 2 ultimates, well, of the 3 ultimates that they had ready to take this point. So, they tried to rotate ults as best as they could. All right, Spray, I feel it. Contendies, they're going to have a Nano and an Earth Shatter for this next fight, though. So, Gig, this is, man, you are a rock star. This is your time to start rocking.
Well, Gig can be a rock star in control and sometimes hybrid,
sometimes.
But not in assault and escort. His teams do make adjustments to the aggressive play, but he's going to play a little bit further back. Not right now, though, as he's going to get stuck in at the door, but he's actually going to be taking a lot of damage because the Nano and the Earth Shatter are going to get into the back line, knock at least 3 down. Nice is gonna go back to spawn. That was some good heads-up play coming from Gig there. The Nano was able to make him more tanky and block the damage coming in. As I see your hand is up, you are giggling.
Oh man, that's called caught in a bowling alley, man. You just walk right past that Zarya and shatter everyone. Contendies, they invested so much into Gig in that fight, though. Not only the Nano, the giant Bionade, but also the sound barrier from Zolik, which means that Jai's EMP is going to be the last thing standing between Tendies and an early map loss. Fusion University using a sound barrier.
They're going to use the sound barrier right as Beast Halo jumps through, but Suppose is going to go down. It was too late. There wasn't enough support around Suppose. Is Karkar going to get taken low, but not out of this so far. Fusion University still have those 3 ultimates. They're sitting pretty in this fight right now. Snill is going to use the rally. This is kind of just for, fools and giggles, right? Fusion University have a huge advantage in this fight, and they will maintain that advantage for the time being, and they will probably win this match.
Well-deserved sleep for Beast Halo at the end of a long round of control for that Winston.
All of those hops, right? That's got to be tiring.
No, dude, man, his quads are probably, made of titanium at this point.
I know, he doesn't forget leg day. That is for sure. As Contendies goes down to Fusion University, and that's why I was like, 199, especially on that specific map, Oasis City Center, is something you see more often, I think. You see that 99-0 flip a lot on that map, and while they kept it close, they were unable to keep it close in the next round. While they did get up to 70, Fusion University were victimized of a really great Gig shatter, but that was kind of the brightest spot of both of those rounds, other than keeping it close on the first one. One thing is for sure, though, I do want to point this out, is Buck has not died first very often.
No.
And before this game, I was like, if Buck dies first, I'm going to start getting a little upset, right?
I was already upset earlier on in the season when he was literally the first one to fall in every single fight, but here's the thing. Tendies were playing, what we might say an off-meta comp on Control, and that on City Center, and that could explain, kind of their unexpected success right there. When they swapped back to the Somber Goats, things were a little bit more dicey. Certainly, Suppose on the Ana added a lot, but they didn't have Trans for some of those, clutch moments where they might have been able to extend the fight out a little bit longer. And Tendies hopefully will be, not only the supports giving to the tanks, but the tanks giving to the supports as well in terms of positioning and peel, because Suppose was like melted in that last fight. There was hope for Tendies to keep holding on, even though they were at a disadvantage. Jai, actually, just want to shout this out. He has been so far been really impressing with his game sense, because you engage with a sound barrier, surprise, we're going to wipe all of those shields out with an EMP, which is exactly what he did. Just wasn't quite enough.
It wasn't quite enough, and I'm glad to see this from this team, actually. So you learn a lot from losses. You don't necessarily need to win to prove yourself, and I think in this particular situation, especially without Harblu, this team has exceeded my expectations so far in terms of keeping it close. Again, I'm kind of like going against my word, but they've exceeded the expectations in that way.
Yes.
And so if you're trying to put the line there, I think they're doing great. But unfortunately, we are 4 weeks in, and Contendies are on the brink of possibly getting relegated, especially after Montreal Rebellion won that last game. And so now it could come down to, map win-loss differential for that last and 6th spot for playoffs. And it will probably belong to, one of the Path to Pro teams in Montreal Rebellion. And looking forward, not having Harblu, not having these map win-losses is really going to hurt them potentially when we end up in our last week and we're trying to figure out who's in the playoffs.
I'm an eternal optimist, though, and the signs that Contendies have been showing so far, not just today specifically, but hearkening to weeks back, we talk about Buck, we talk about Gig. They have very distinct play styles, which don't always help the team, but they've pulled it back. They've made adaptations. They're flexing right now, and I think, that's the kind of thing that you have to do. Like Second Wind, we shout out Second Wind all the time as being one of the, hands down most successful unsigned teams starting from last season. But remember, they started in season 1. Boy, oh boy, was that a different story.
They won 3 maps total, I think, that season. And so, when things change around, you get better coaching, you get the right set of players, things can really happen. Seeing Fried successful, seeing Made successful, seeing, Akawa doing pretty well on XL2 as well is really cool to see from the former unsigned into those, signed teams. Contendies, each one of these players needs to prove themselves as well. That's kind of like the other Path to Pro initiative, right? This is a chance for you to play in front of everyone who does does decide who's on which team. And
Yeah.
I think in general, these players, you know, to be able to level up, they gotta perform. And I think right now their newest member is performing the best.
Oh, he's doing great. At least, you know, he's making obvious contributions to the teams. At times, you know, when it seems to matter the most. But you're absolutely right, Boop. Tier 2, you know, we come at, you know, it's certainly different from what we see in the Overwatch League, and it's different for, you know, teams and players as well. It's a great time for those individual mechanics to shine, even if your team is not, you know, the most successful necessarily in your region. You can still make a name for yourself as a player, which is what everybody's going to be hoping for as we move into Eichenwalde.
Nice. Nice. I love it. It's
Thank
like,
you. I've
it's
been
like a real
practicing all
European
week.
is right by me. Oh, man. Eichenwalde. I feel like that's like offensive when I do it.
What?
Right?
No.
Yeah. It's like anyway.
You're more European than me.
That is true. That is correct.
Gotcha there. All right.
I know. Anyway, coming back to this game, Fusion University have found themselves on top of Chicken Contendies after taking Oasis 2-0. Now we're on Eichenwalde. I couldn't commit. And, and we're going to see some new I think we're going to see some Pharah potentially here. And I want to see Chicken Contendies rock this EMP on that Jai. You know, I called Sombra EMP for a reason there. I'm saying something with that. Fusion University are going to come in with goats and Chomstick this time around.
Yep. So now that Beast Halo has had his moment in the spotlight, we're going to swap our focus now to Chongsick, who has been playing with Fusion University a little bit longer.
So this is actually really interesting because there are a couple football teams. I remember the University of Georgia. My sister went there, so this is where I'm bringing that up. Ran two running backs when they were doing really, really well. And, you know, at first a lot of people were like, I don't know if you need to, like, they're getting equal playing time. They're both getting 100-yard rushes. They're doing pretty well. That's definitely, I think, in the minority when it comes to splitting time. But I think Fusion University right now are falling on that side rather than, you know, committing to one person and having everyone play one certain style.
Agreed, and so far it's worked out for them. They have won each one of their series. Chicken Tendy is pulling out of spawn with I've just really like any kind of new look, and this kind of triple support with Suppose on the Ana certainly offers a lot of utility. This is actually a ton more pressure on Bernard to use the Matrix well, because a big anti-nade can open up those fights as Gig goes for the tactical reposition.
And it almost works as Car almost goes down, but thank goodness for that ally barrier as Gig would not have been able to accomplish that without it. That tactical reposition. Assaulty going to get pushed back, and the rest of Chicken Contendies are going to lose some of that space as Fusion University have a little bit more HP, but Chomstick going to be taken down. The purple runs out just in time for him to get those heals, but looking at both of those tanks right now, Bernard and Chomstick are low. Where the support's going to do, the AoE healing's definitely going to help, but where's the armor pack going to go? It's going to go onto Chomstick, and right now they're kind of just waiting for each other to make a move. Chicken Contendies finally does get that nano. They're going to use it on Gig, who's probably a great Reinhardt to use a nano with, as I don't know if he knows what a shield is. Chicken Contendies, though, are unable to get a kill with that nano, but Gig has an Earth Shatter. He's going to use it, not only get nice, Chomstick's also going to be stunned, so there's going to be a little less protection coming into the universe.
Yeah, it's certainly drawn some stuff out. EMP comes in, and Chicken Tendy's still alive, still in the mix right here. Zolik just 4% away from that sound barrier. His team could really use it right now, especially as the hammer comes in, but Chomstick immediately stunned.
Oh, and now the kills might finally be happening. Buck is going to get first blood this time around. Good job, buddy. Fusion University is going to have a sound barrier to try to delay this a little bit more. Point A's are easily taken by the offense a lot, but Fusion University want to take as much time off the clock as possible and get themselves in the hands at a 6v6 once again. And Suppose is going to get a second nano of this fight. Gig going to be knocked down due to a counter charge from Chomstick, which is a good move because if he's on the ground, he's not doing damage with that nano. But Suppose is going to be one of the better fraggers on Chicken Contendies that we've seen today. I actually think he might have like second or third amount of kills, which, you know, is pretty cool. It's not what he's there for, but
I mean, am I feeling like Suppose might be a true Ana main in Zen's sheep clothing? That's my feel. 2 nanos in 2 fights, and boy did Gig make good use of them. Are you ready? Here I come. And Fusion University was not ready, man. All of their tanks getting pushed into that tiny hallway. That's where Gig lives, man. He has a shatter already, decided not to use it. His hammer was enough, and that's actually a pretty impressive point A take for Chicken Tendies. They come now in with yet another Earth Shatter, yet another grab, yet another EMP.
So the Earth Shatter is going to come through. Chomstick is going to get bullied onto the payload. And Chicken Contendies looking good, looking strong. This is not the Chicken Contendies we saw against Gladiators Legion a couple weeks ago. This one is putting up with Fusion University right now, but how long can they maintain? That's the question.
It does feel like right now they're kind of riding with the wind in their sails. It's only a matter of time before Fusion University pull things back with that experience and adapt. However, Contendies making good usage, good distance right now. Alarm, oh, that's a gravity tragedy. Drop down with the Transcendence, not there in time to save Chongsik, and now they have nothing for what Contendies are bringing their way.
Alright, he's going to hit 5 members of Fusion University, and Gig's going to get nice, but Salty going to go down the other way, and Gig with the production, with the sound barrier, with the barriers, Contendies are going to enable this Reinhardt a little bit more. You know, in the last game that Contendies competed on, what happened was Gladiators, it was Gladiators Legion. It might have been, but anyway, it's not important. What they were able to do was the opposing team were able to change their play style to understand how Gig plays and then just took him out of the game.
Yeah, if you can put a collar on Gig, then you're doing your job here. Fusion University have really yet to find that, though. They've really yet to put up a single defense as Tendies right now, splitting their team with yet another great EMP from Jai. Their attention was split.
Oh! Chongsik was hacked, so there was no one there to block the shatter, and the momentum continues. Not only are Contendies already halfway through this third point, they have not stopped since that first fight.
Well, it stopped right now because Suppose forgot about the payload. But there we go. Now it started rolling once
looking at you for emphasis.
Yeah, emphasis. And boy, Contendies right now, every single one of these players is an exclamation mark on the fight. They are going to give up just a little bit more space, so Fusion University have a chance to come back in here. Chongsik, due to that great Fire Strike kill onto Buck, will have that shatter, but can he use it?
So the rally is going to be on for Snillo, and they finally do get a first hit onto Buck, but it's going to be returned on the other side. And Earthshatter coming from Gig is going to knock a bunch onto the ground, but the Transcendence is going to keep them there, but still going to get bursted through. I believe he was purpled as to why that Transcendence wasn't nullified. Fusion University might want to think about the fact that Alarm on this Zenyatta is not going to be as impactful because Suppose is arguably having one of his best days ever.
I mean, here's the thing. Contendies, another massive EMP. Sound barrier too late. It only hits 4 members. There's only 4 members alive.
And so the sound barrier is going to come through from Contendies, who are going to try to walk this in without having to stop at all here on Eichenwald. But Gig is going to keep this going. That's so many kills for this Reinhardt. Contendies are going to walk this through. Utter domination from Contendies against Fusion University. And that, my friends, is a new sentence.
Yeah, oh man, I am all aboard this Gig trade right now. Toot. Because here's the thing. You have such a great Zenyatta. Like, this is no diss on Alarm at all, but he simply has not been contributing to Fusion University in the way that they need.
It's character design, right?
Yeah,
with the name.
He's playing Zenyatta. He's one of the best Zens in the region, and Contendies aren't playing the Grav game. They're playing the EMP Shatter game. They're playing the Nano Gig game, right? So what's your trans going to do with a giant Reinhardt who's rushing forward, smashing the crap out of your entire team? Yeah, sure, you could try and heal them out, but it's not going to be the same kind of value as you might get from, say, a Big Purple.
Well, the other thing is they might be expecting a little bit more back and forth like there was at the beginning of this match, right? It took a little while before like things actually started happening, but I don't think Fusion University are used to playing this kind of game, right? Like where everyone crosses their T's and dots their I. The Graviton Surge comes out, and then the Transcendence comes out. It's almost like rehearsed, right?
Yeah.
And right now, Contendies have thrown out that playbook, like you said, and they're focusing everything around, Gig and Jai right now, with Suppose being an amazing support. And honestly, that's a team effort. I really want to point out that because we've gotten on him a lot.
Yes.
And I've seen people, on chat get on him too. But today, he's playing very well so far.
Buck has been playing amazingly, and he's really enabled Gig. We saw him charge Chongsik out of the Grav into the clutches of his own team where they cannibalized him, and then he turns around, 180 shatters the rest of Fusion University. You just don't get that kind of team play very often. So Jai sticking with the Sombra once again, just going for the scout. Fusion University are not a team that like to swap up that playbook, but this might be the time.
We saw Bernard on Pharah earlier, and it worked, but that was on control. Nice does a pretty good Pharah himself, so they're going to be going with a Goats. And, after watching yesterday's finals, we all know how to play Goats at this point. And so that's how you do it. What a great day, by the way. Contendies are going to be able to get healed up. Gig is actually behind Chongsik on that Shatter Charge, which is something that we haven't seen, and he's going to go down. This might be the adjustments that we were talking about that Fusion University needed to make. The thing about an aggressive Reinhardt is there are openings and opportunities to take advantage of that and take him out of this match.
Oh, undoubtedly. Whew! An Alarm. Yo, he is feeling toasty right now. Gets a headshot kill onto Salty.
But not
Chicken.
that.
But Contendies, right? So when you're running the Ana Sombra, you don't have that defense matrix to come in. You don't even have a bomb to stall out a point. So you're betting that you're going to get raced to that nano and EMP faster than Fusion University can take you down. But through great focus fire, they take down Gig first, and then everybody behind him, just a juicy chicken tender for the taking.
Everyone. Oh, 3 members are going to get hacked, which opens Toxic up for the stun. Alarm is hacked, but he's gonna be able to use that Transcendence when the grab from Salty comes through. The grab from Salty is there, but it doesn't look like it's doing anything. The Fusion University, it was wasted. Nice to the other side. Maybe they were just both trapped in that grab. It was a weird angle. Fusion University is gonna use their Earth Shatter, not getting anyone from Chicken Contendies. And now Alarm still has that Transcendence, which is an amazing thing for them, as Gig is gonna get taken it down from behind through Snillo, not the bomb. Fusion University finally walking this payload, but not as flashy as Chicken Contendies did on their push.
Oh, not as flashy, but certainly with the same kind of verve, and they're going to be able to meet that time bank as well, most likely. Chicken Contendies, they can't get too excited about their early gains. Nice no. Ooh, dangerous position.
Ooh, they get taken really, really low. The support is finally there. The arm attack comes through from that button. Suppose get that nano in time as the Earth Shatter is going to get canceled. And this is, again, you're taking advantage of that aggressiveness. This is exactly what Fusion University need to do. You know, it's funny, you were saying earlier that, like, you know, Chicken Contendies was flashy. Fusion University reminds me of that, like, old person on the street that, like, walks for, like, 3 hours.
Yeah, but somehow right? He's like an old guy, still does, like, 17 sit-ups.
Yeah, so the EMP's going to come through. Alarm going to be taken down, and finally Chicken Contendies are going to stop them here on a Streets phase. The old person must have taken a little fall. That's pretty sad. As the new ones, the new blood, the young bucks around here are feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gig economy, so Chicken Tendies, they're already very well set here. They have both of their support ultimates, Nano and Sound Barrier, but if Chongstick and Nice can work up to these tank ultimates pretty quickly, Chicken Tendies only have one insurance policy in this Sound Barrier, but Boop is always Boop potential is always there. Zolik searching for something as Fusion University make their pretty telegraphed way up through the castle.
Yeah, you inherently have to play more aggressively if you're rocking this Ana who is going to nano Gig, who, look, there's a shield he is not using. It is at 2,000 health, and that is exactly what you want to see when your Reinhardt is nanoed, because now he's going to be much more vulnerable, though. Karkar going to be taken down from Salty. And what I was saying is we have actually seen here in Contendies is these Reinhardts getting nanoed and then putting their shields up.
That is the least, that's the worst thing that you could do as a Reinhardt. Not only are you pressuring your shield, but you're not taking space for your team, you're not earning that shatter. But Fusion University themselves, we talked about, you know, hey, they don't adapt very quickly, and they are doing it now, but they're not used to it. They could have gotten a much faster time, but nobody was on the payload. They were all focused on winning that team fight, and for good reason here as the momentum surging forward for Fusion University. That's a couple of great kills for Nice, who will have the grab.
So he's going to grab for the next fight as Chicken Contendies get staggered out. They got a pick before the point opened, and then they were able to steamroll over the 5 remaining Chicken Contenders. Right there, Fusion University do have that Graviton and Self-Destruct combo, what we call Bigger Bang, as Gig is going to use that grab with his shield. The EMP is there, but Bernard's bomb is going to go in the backline as the EMP is not going to be enough to take Alarm down. Jai going to be taken out by the Zenyatta. That would feel bad for sure, as Troxic going to Earth Shadow 3 members of Chicken Contendies, but the rally was there, keeping them all alive, and Gig is going to get nanoed once again and repositioned back into the backline, but now he's not going to be in front of his team, and it's going to leave them a little bit more vulnerable for a window. He is back, however, putting that shield up. He is going to get stunned, and you're seeing them cancel this Earth Shatter once again. Amazing adjustments from Fusion University.
They got 8!
And so, well, they're also going to finish this map potentially with more time than Chicken Contendies did on their run. So I guess defense is not the name of the game in this matchup so far, as Fusion University are on the brink of being able to finish this. Toxic going to Earth Shatter the shield, but it's not going to matter. Fusion University are going to complete this with a little better of a time than Chicken Contendies.
Fusion University slapping right back over here. Former champions not down at all. Chicken Tendies, as much as we talk about Fusion University needing to make adjustments, Chicken Tendies didn't at all in that whole fight. They were like, yo, we threw out the playbook, and now we're like, we got one play. And so this is kind of, you know, the deal that you get with the Sombra, with the Ana. You have to take initiative. You can't be a sit back on your heels and wait for the enemy team's kind of engagement. that's not what's going to be helping Tendies, because, you know, if you're reacting to their aggression by throwing out an EMP, you're not taking the tempo into your own hands, and Tendies have to do that in order to hold Fusion University at bay. If the Ana is forced to defend her team, she can throw, you know, one bio nade, maybe, right? And that's not the kind of value that you're going to get from a defending Zen who can trance and, you know, hold everybody off for at least a few seconds. So Tendies, again, right now they're not showing any changes, and it works very, very well on offense. But come the opposite time when they're defending, I'd hope to see a little bit more adjustment.
Well, it makes Bernard's super job much more important when there's an Ana on the other side, as well as eating the nade and the sleep dart can change the course of a fight. You can predict when those nades come out, but the good Anas versus the great Anas know exactly when to throw that nade and cripple the opposing team. So Suppose is still going to be rocking that Ana gig on that Reinhardt. He's just a joy to watch. Fusion University, though with a good fire strike from Choxic, he's going to get a little bit of a jump. The offensive team is usually slower in terms of ultimates. They have to walk into the fire of Fusion University, who are currently poking Chicken Contendies away.
Yeah, Suppose, though, also 30% up to the Nano as Jai's looking for some of those hacks working up to that EMP. Chicken Tendies have a little bit over 2 minutes, so not the biggest time bank in the world, but if they can take point A, they will have a big buffer coming into the second fight as, oh, they're trying to burn down Bernard, but Salty falls.
Oh, you saw those come out at the exact same time, so that means the focus was split between Chicken Contendies, and Choxic was able to take down Salty, as Gig gonna get another Nano. He's going to be taken down during it. Unfortunate for him. Fusion University on their defense are going to cause Chicken Contendies.
Ooh, that was actually a big wasted opportunity, because getting Bernard out of mech was the advantage that Tendies needed in order to engage, but Gig wanted more, and Suppose gave it to him, but he just went in too deep, and now Tendies again back at square one.
Hey, and so Fusion University will have an Earthshatter and that Transcendence, but Jai can change everything with an EMP, and he's been charging that much slower this time around, and EMP is what I like to call a point-winning ultimate, right? It's you use it to win if you do everything correctly, as the Graviton Surge is going to get Gig, and that's all they're going to need.
Yeah, Fusion University able to hold with just a single ultimate. They're banking things up for when Chicken Tendies hit him with all of their own. So this is some good play from Fusion University so far. They're not waiting for Chicken Tendies to engage. They're taking a very proactive defense, which is what Tendies needed to do themselves. But now this is going to be a slobber knocker of a fight. Everybody's gonna press Q. EMP hopefully will be first.
EMP goes through, but Alarm's able to get the Transcendence out, was able to call that instinctively. Is the Earthshatter going to be coming after? And so what this does, it's really interesting, is the EMP forces the trans out, which gives you an opportunity to Earthshatter and actually get some damage going through with that Graviton Surge. So really good stuff from Chicken Contendies on their attack, and that's really good for them as they didn't have any other opportunities to do this. Chicken Contendies will be grabbing this first point.
With just a tiny bit of time left, Karkar had the sound barrier there. He may have been holding it for the second fight. He didn't really have a chance to find out, as I believe Jai hacked him and he immediately died. But that means Fusion University will have an insurance policy for this Streets phase fight, which will be an overtime one as well. So Chicken Tendies, we can't be seeing, you know, any split push shenanigans anymore, because one toe off of this payload could be the end of the round for them.
If I've seen a team that's going to C9 a point, it's Chicken Contendies because of how aggressive they are, but Suppose just needs to stay on that point and not follow Gig too much. The Graviton Surge is going to completely whiff. Fusion University making some uncharacteristic mistakes for them right now. Maybe not taking Chicken Contendies very seriously, as Bernard is going to throw the bomb up. Buck is going to go down, but so is Choxic, and now the EMP is going to follow everything. Jai's timing on these EMPs, outside of the one a little bit earlier, have been pretty spot on, drawing the trance out of Alarm, and then the Earthshatter comes through. This time around, investing it in the middle of the fight after all the cooldowns have already been used.
And nobody was expecting an EMP to hit him right in the face. Chicken Tendies, they have one more ultimate. Salty's grab. You're hoping for a little bit more than nice, which was a goose egg. So Fusion University, though, this is a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Choxic. How many times before have we seen a Zarya shattered before she could grab? This is his moment.
But is it going to be Salty or is it going to be Sweet? It looks like it's going to be split right now, but Salty is going to make things sweet for Chicken Contendies. I don't know how sugar tastes on chicken, but Gotta be good. Sugar just
delicious.
Everything, right? Chicken Contendies gonna get this 5th point on their 2nd push. Good stuff from them. But where are these defenses?
I don't know, Boop. This is really curious from both teams. I mean, Fusion University, you can explain it by never having really been put through the grinder in the way that Chicken Tendies has been forcing them to react right now. Not just, you know, goats v goats, but with an honest Sombra, which is something that we don't see even today in NA Contenders. So Chongsick once again still has that shatter.
The shatter is going to go through from Chongsick. Salty's on the ground. Gig already taken down. So Fusion University have their best opportunity to stop this so far, and it looks like they're going to be able to do that, especially with this rally going through. Fusion University have a ton of work to do to win this map, but if anyone can do it, it's Fusion University.
Yeah, and Alarm coming alive in that last defense. Boy, that's a Zenyatta I would hope for in my games, because when you need it the most, you actually know, this is like a weird comparison, because Alarm, of all the Zenyatas in NA Contenders right now, certainly, you know, deserves to, you know, move up into, you know, the next tier of play. But that clutch ability is something that we actually didn't see as much from him last season as we've seen now, either because Fusion University need those clutch moments more, where he's just fragging out like nuts, or he's just kind of picked up, you know, that part of his arsenal a little more, because we always know that he has that mechanical ability. He's always been crazy, but he was the one who helped Fusion University secure that last point. Great fast shatter combo from Snillo and Chongsick, no, undoubtedly, but when the damage was a little bit lacking, he picked it up.
So Chicken Contendies, 5 points on the board. That's amazing for them, especially since Streets phase is so long here on this map. There are plenty of opportunities for defense to hold there, but we haven't seen defense at all so far this map from either side. So let's see if Chicken Contendies are going to be able to show us what that is.
Same comp.
Yep, on this push, and they're going to be running the same comp. So the unfortunate thing for Chicken Contendies is the way that this is going, they probably are going to run this comp for the rest of the game, which means they're kind of locked in, and Fusion University are going to be able to make adjustments. This is deja vu all over again.
Oh yes, Fusion University, they're a team that gets stronger with time, just like Vinegar. Jai getting, Jai might just well go down. Does he have the translocator up? It might have actually been destroyed. No, he's safe for now, but out of the fight as Chicken Tendies are being pushed back.
Yeah, you know, the armor pack is something that I think is a super underrated cooldown. It's not going to be available for a little while longer. Gig is going to need it, but who in Chicken Contendies is going to get that pack invested in them? They're all pretty low. Bernard's going to get theirs. Chongsick is stunned and get taken to half health, but Gig is down. Fusion University might pull exactly what Chicken Contendies did to them, which is getting this 4th point. They're going to have 4 time on the clock to get to their 5th.
Yeah, that's the scary thing too. The snowball is also a real potential for Fusion University, who are running the classic GOATS composition. It's a lot easier. You're a lot more used to playing this composition revolving around the tank and support ultimates than this Sombra on a contraption from Chicken Tendies. Suppose is very close to that nano once again. He just needs a body alive to land on, and Gig's dead.
Yeah, Gig is dead, got stunned, and then got taken out. And, you know, good CC on Chongsick. That's not Sombra's going to translocate away. Chicken Contendies, though, are going to be coming up on their ultimates here soon, so Giant's EMP could end things for Fusion University.
He does have to get in position, though. That's the scary thing, as Fusion University have already claimed this high ground, and they have both trance and grab, so offensive and defensive options available for Fusion University. Chicken Tendies, again, they have to make the first move.
Fire at will. Make it, though. Let's see. It's going to be the Graviton Surge. Nice is going to throw his out, and I believe that was going to be the first move as it usually is. Chicken Contendies are going to have to wait a little bit longer. They've got the space.
They do, and they got the ultimates too. They've actually increased the amount of ultimates they're holding onto from that last fight, investing just the grab right there, and that is some mad value. Chicken Tendies just now coming into their own grab, their own rally. This is going to be their last chance to really hold. Point B is very defensible if you can get the jump on it.
Well, it's their last chance and best chance so far. Unfortunately, Fusion University have a very good chance of keeping this as well. I don't want to see him do Burns to throw the bomb and actually launch himself off of the map. As Earthshatter going to help things out. Buck's going to be going down too. Now it's going to be Chicken Contendies' game. If Bernard was there, would things have been different? different, but the self-destruct came in and he threw himself off the map. I don't know which is funnier, Bernard doing that or Nice getting killed by a streetlight.
Oh man, and the shatter! Oh, Gig, he really, really, really wants this point, but even better, his team had his back right there. Oh, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. 6 seconds left.
One last push for Fusion University, and Chicken Contendies might be able to tie this up, but the clutch factor for Fusion University is well known. As Snillo gonna get the kill on it to Gig, and it's gonna be a 5v4 right now. Chicken Contendies not out of this yet, as the gate still has to open, and there is a little bit more progress to go. Chicken Contendies now will have one more shot at this push, at this defense.
Oh, please, it would be so ironic if Chicken Tendies were the one to choke on a bone right here at the very last seconds. Overtime is here. Gig cannot fall. He's already half health, backing up. There will be no ultimates coming in for Chicken Tendies. Fusion University have one grab and one trance. That could be possibly all they need.
Get to the point! Oh, no! I don't know if there was a little bit of like, hey, let's group up as a team, like half-second wait
Absolutely,
there.
absolutely.
But that stinks. That's like the worst way to end a game like that. But, you know, I think you could argue that it was not a C9, but Fusion University are going to go up 2-0 against Chicken Contendies, almost dropping that map, and that would have been 100% their fault there at the end, especially, you know, Chicken Contendies too. Not a lot of defense happening on both sides. If someone were to like, hey, show me an example of Overwatch, that would probably not be a game I showed them. But,
really?
You know, not to be too mean, but I think that's also why, you know, Fusion University is struggling a little bit. You know, just recently in the big basketball tournament that's going on, you know, upsets happen all the time, and it's usually because the opposing team just isn't ready for that type of player, that kind of defense, or, you know, that kind of tempo is just so different and quote-unquote wrong that they just don't know how to make adjustments to it. But Fusion University were able to get 5 points of their own on Eichenwald, going up 2-0 against Chicken Contendies, who are playing pretty well without Hard Blue, which is a really great thing. But we're going to go ahead and go take a 6-minute break. But, you know, if you were to summarize the series in one sentence, what would you tell the folks at home?
Stay glued. Don't go anywhere.
There it is. We'll see you soon.